After Prince Philip's funeral in April 2021, Harry managed to raise the royals' ire even further by naming his daughter after the Queen, reportedly without permission, and announcing he's writing a tell-all book. So it was with some trepidation that the 37-year-old approached Windsor Castle, where the Queen was waiting, with wife Meghan, 40, clutching his hand in support. The tension melted away as soon as they saw each other, says a source. They were so relieved to have some time alone to talk. It was supposed to be a quick catch-up so as not to overtax the Queen, who is still recovering from illness and mobility issues, but she insisted Harry and Meghan stay longer. The Sussexes spent 2 hours with her. The source adds, there were tears. Harry was emotional about how frail she's become in the year since he's seen her. A separate palace source says the Queen wasn't interested in berating him, she was keen to move forward. So it beggars belief that just days after their tea and sympathy with Her Majesty in England, Harry betrayed her forgiveness with yet another interview trashing his family. It's like he can't help himself, said one aghast courtier, after watching Harry make a string of bizarre comments in a chat with US journalist Hoda Kotb from the Invictus Games in the Netherlands. Among his charges was that he was making sure the Queen has the right people around her and is protected. We talk about things she can't tell anyone else, he said, with a barely concealed smirk. Our source says, why on earth would he go to all the effort of a fleeting visit with the Queen and Prince Charles at Windsor Castle to smooth out family relations, only to go on American television claiming the Queen lacks the right sort of people around her? It makes no sense. He's lost it. Royal expert Phil Dampier had some choice words to describe Harry and Meghan's roller coaster relationship with the sovereign. She must see they are using her, and I'm sure she'd like this nonsense to stop now, before it ruins her jubilee year, he says. Prince Charles, 73, is believed to be incandescent that Harry piggybacked an interview with American tabloid television off his visit to the family home. Charles thought Harry's visit meant he might be ready to move forward from their family feud, says a source. But now, he's taken Harry's claim that the Queen is unprotected as a direct insult, whether it was intended as such or not. Prince William warned his father not to give Harry an inch. In other hand, the author of the Finding Freedom biography alleged that the Sussexes kept their flying visit to Windsor almost 2 weeks ago a secret, although royal insiders have questioned whether this would be possible given they stayed in the grounds the night before their 30-minute meeting with the monarch, whose diary is carefully managed by staff. He said, while the Sussexes and the Queen have been in regular contact over the phone or virtually, their recent in-person meeting, which was purposefully kept a secret from all palace aides, was Harry's first chance in a year to truly speak privately with his grandmother without fear of anyone overhearing or wandering in the background of a video call. Mr. Scobie also described how his jaw dropped when he heard historic claims that Her Majesty's Private Secretary Edward Young was accused of refusing to allow the Sussexes to visit the monarch at Sandringham. And the royal reporter was similarly scathing about the Queen's dresser and confidant Angela Kelly, who he claims was determined to put Meghan in her place. Arguing Harry is right to question those around his grandmother, he added, the reality is, since the passing of Prince Philip 1 year ago, the Queen is living by herself. While Prince Charles, the Cambridges and others stop by for visits, the people surrounding the monarch on a daily basis, aides, courtiers and household staff responsible for every aspect of her life, are all employees of the royal institution. And it's at the hands of some of these same people that Harry experienced some of his darkest and most distressing moments as a working member of the firm. Harry is known to have an historical hatred for the so-called men in grey suits, the senior courtiers who advise the Queen, such as her private secretary Sir Edward Young, whom he believes has deliberately kept him at arm's length. Mr. Scobie, I remember how my jaw dropped when a friend of the couple gave me a play-by-play account of how the Queen's private secretary, Edward Young, went out of his way to prevent the couple from visiting the monarch in Sandringham. But the Queen is also surrounded a tight-knit and intensely devoted circle of mostly long-standing servants. They are led by Miss Kelly, a former dresser promoted to the special position of personal assistant, advisor and curator to the Queen, who is so close to her boss that she wears in her shoes and revels in her position as her gatekeeper. Harry famously fell out with the Liverpool doctor's daughter over Meghan's choice of tiara for their wedding. He accused Miss Kelly of being deliberately obstructive towards his fiancée, while supporters of the royal right-hand woman say the Queen's grandson was rude and short-tempered, effectively telling her, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Writing about the aides, Scobie said, Angela Kelly, who multiple sources told me made it almost impossible for Meghan to have a necessary hair trial with her chosen wedding tiara, even standing up the Duchess-to-be and her hairstylist, who had flown in especially, at a pre-scheduled fitting. Harry, sources said, felt it was a cruel attempt to put his partner in her place.